I got the top 8 deck list here. There's one deck list I don't have, and it was the Gravekeeper player.
It's finally here. After many weeks, I have been able to obtain the Gravekeeper list that topped BBG tournament. He made top 8. This is the last deck list I was missing from the top 8. So we're just going to go over it and talk about it a little bit. So this is Gravekeepers with a little spice in it. Obviously, he's playing 2 Kaias here, and this is Nestor's deck list, by the way. 2 Kaias, usually you don't see Kaias in Gravekeeper lists, especially if it's in combination with Royal Tribute, but 2 Kaias is pretty interesting. We'll get back to Kaias. I just want to talk about the other guys first. We have 2 Assailant, which is pretty standard. If you really want to go hard, you could play 3, but 2 is like a good spot to be with at this card, and you can always grab it back with a Stele, whatever it's called. 3 Commandment, or Commandant. He's pretty much Necro Valley, walking Necro Valley. We have 3 Descendant. I just want to pop all your guys, and he's a 2K beater, so that's pretty good. Got 1 guard, just flip back like a, I don't know, Stardust. Pretty good against synchros. Got 3 Spy, broken card of the deck. Got Sangan to grab supposed Spy. Interesting to see Sangan without Gale. I feel like you would want Gale if you have Sangan in your deck list. Or just replace Sangan with Gale. But maybe this is another method of getting the Spy. And then onto the spells, we have Brain Control. Also interesting, Brain Control without Gale. But we do have Caius, so there's that. We have 2 Stele, just to get back your Gravekeeper monsters. So it's kind of like just a +1 there. MST, 3 Necro Valley, 3 Necro Valley and 2 Royal Tribute. Round up the spells. This is a little interesting. And I'll get that one thing in the trap lineup as well. But, we're on 2 Royal Tribute with 2 Kaias, so I guess if you don't have Necro Valley rolling, like, if they're just getting rid of your Necro Valley, like, Wind Blast, Necro Valley, like, as soon as you activate it, can be kind of annoying. So your fallback plan could be Caius. You got Brain Control Caius play. And Royal Tribute can be, it's not the best in multiples, but you want to see it early on. So it's more like, if I see it, I see it. Not trying to force it, so there's that. So I think it's maybe justifiable just to play 2 if you have like a secondary like win con through like Caius play. But if you're just banking on like resolving Royal Tribute, you definitely want to play 3. So Nestor opting to play 2 and 2. And for the traps, we have 2 bottomless. We have a lot of traps. We have 16 traps. 2 bottomless, 1 dark bribe. We have 3 dimensional prison, so you're not beating over my guard or spy anytime soon. 1 mirror force, 2 royal oppression, 2 skill drain. Skill drain is interesting in Gravekeepers because, your guys do get bigger with Necro Valley, but it also turns off your spy and Caius. So, it might be a little hard to go over like a dupe frog in this list with if you have skill drain up. You have Caius and this guy, but aside from that, be kind of challenging. We got Solemn Judgment, of course, 2 Starlight Road, Torrential Tribute, and Trap Dust Shoot. So interesting thing with the trap lineups, we have 2 Starlight Road, 2 Royal Oppression. Royal Oppression is weird in GK because your deck's kind of naturally slower, but this card is actually kind of brutal against Gravekeepers because like you can just never flip Spy on, and then your opponent's just not going to attack into your set monster, so they can clear your back row or something like that. Like, so Oppression like seems good in theory, but it kind of conflicts pretty badly with Spy, which is like your best monster. And then skill drain also conflicts with spy a little bit, but maybe it's kind of like the Blackwing theory, where you're just trying to counter your opponent for the most part, and then your monsters just deal with it. So I think that's kind of what he was going for that. Just like lock the opponent out. And 2 road with the 2 oppression might conflict a little bit. But just try not to lose a heavy storm, so justifiable. We have torrential here, and then trap dust shoot. Trap dust shoot with 2 roll tribute might be just like a slightly easier way to rip from the hand. Maybe more consistent because you don't have to have 2 cards. You just have the 1 trap dust shoot. You just set it and you get to see your opponent's hand. As roll tribute. I guess if you're playing a ribbit, I think roll tribute reveals, but anywhere else, like in the actual Edison format, I'm pretty sure roll tribute does not reveal. Same as Mind Crush, so depending on what you're playing roll tribute at, or Mind Crush, might give you quite different results, because or whatever your judge is having for the ruling. So if your judge says, hey, you get to see your opponent's hand if you roll a tribute, then this card is probably pretty busted, but if not, it's probably somewhat mediocre. So that's some food for thought. I don't think this actually got changed till like after Nationals of 2010. I could be wrong, but I think that's when it changed, where you do get to look at your opponent's hand with Mind Crush and roll tribute. So it's kind of interesting. So yeah, that rounds up the main deck here. Yeah, and I guess Caius is, I talked about it with roll tribute, it's just like gives you a backup plan because you're setting spies and such. So you don't have the Necro Valley thing working out for you. You can just bang on Caius, and you have all these battle traps to keep you in the game, and floodgates, of course. As for the side deck, we got 2 Cyber Dragons for machine decks. There's a beater, kind of nice. Heavy Storm. I imagine you'd probably side this thing against like Blackwings, potentially Hero Beat. You just have to have like Royal Oppression ready for them. In that case, because they probably have Starlight Road. But you have 16 traps, so you draw this mid to late, and then you have Necro Valley on top of that. If you draw this mid to late game, it can be kind of awkward. We have 3 Nolan across out. This man does not want to mess around with Reiko. He already is kind of like Reiko proof a little bit with skill drains in the main, but he's just saying like you're never resolving Reiko. Now I'm sure Hamster and like opponent spies are just like the big booty monsters are kind of annoying. Snowman, I guess set monsters are just kind of generally annoying for this deck, so I can kind of see it being decent in Gravekeepers. We got 2 Twister here. I assume this is for Royal Decree decks like Lightsworn. Just trying to take those out. You do have Descendant pop, but it might be too late if you get to that point where you're popping with Descendant. You would have to like resolve a Flit Spy, and if your opponent is just, hopefully your opponent just isn't going ham, but I guess it's just like a whole pool thing. But Twister just to deal with that, and you go against like Blackwings, take out like a Whirlwind potentially. And we have Dark Bribe, another Dark Bribe. So we have 1 on the main, 1 on the side. Stop extra spell and traps. We have 3 Light Imprisoning Mirror. So very hateful. This deck's very hateful. Very hateful. It's like an anti-meta, which I guess Gravekeepers generally is anti-meta. But he has a lot of floodgates in the main, and more floodgates in the side. So 3 Light Mirror, not mess around with the fairies or the Lightsworns, just get out. And I can see recruiters being annoying. So flip monsters and recruiters can be pretty annoying for Gravekeepers. And then we got 3 Pulling Rugs for Frog Monarchs, most likely. And because Monarchs on your dropping Caius on your spy isn't the most fun. So that will round out the side deck, and then the beefy extra deck here. I really like the strat he has going on here. We have 2 Chimera Tech for the 2 Cyber Dragons. Okay. We have Cataster for the Whitestone of Legend and Spy synchro play. We have Brionic for the Plague Spy play, brain control, and same for Goyo. And then we got 3 Stardust. And then, that's it. That's all you need. That's all you played. But yeah, big fan of this extra deck. You don't need anything else. You play brain control for a reason, is to make these guys and no one else. But yeah, ideally you would want to play, Arcanite Magician or like level 7s in case you can play against Blackwings. You take their Gale. You synchro with Spy, and so on. So you can probably put like a good amount of other things in here just in case, because the one brain control you play. Otherwise, none of these synchros matter because he's not playing Gale, and he has no other way of synchroing. So that is the deck list. So it was really interesting. I haven't really seen anyone mixing Caius with Royal Tribute. It's just like, I think you just like, if you resolve like one of these floodgates and you have your engine going, you're probably just gonna win. I think that's probably what happened a lot. And the tournament was, what was it, 6 rounds Swiss, and it's cut the top 8. So he was 5-0. Him and someone else were 5-0, and then at this local, you can just kind of like, you can decide to draw if your opponent wants to, or you can play it out. I think they just flipped for the win, and he won the flip, so he technically went 6-0. But and then he lost in top 8 to Silch's Ruin. You can catch the live stream of this tournament on the Edison Club channel. They streamed the whole thing as under their live stream tab, and then they played in the top 8 feature match. So you can actually catch Stilches playing against Nestor, who is playing the Gravekeeper. So zombies versus Gravekeepers, if you're wondering. Anyways, we finally had the deck list here. I know a lot of you guys were asking for it. And here it is in the flesh. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. There's a Big Boy Gaming tournament coming up at the start of May 6th. I made an announcement video for it. I have some more news coming out in the next week or two for that tournament. So watch out for that. So I'll try to get all the coverage. I'll definitely have like all the deck lists and stuff that make top 8 for that tournament. I'm really excited for that one coming up, and hope you guys can show up and play, because it's going to be hype. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll catch you guys in the next one.